Hello and welcome to yet another edition of Trends with LJE, where we bring you the latest and developing stories in and across Nigeria and, of course, Africa. I am your host, Nkamiang John. Now, do well to be part of our growing online community by hitting that follow, like, and share button right now on all platforms at LJE Nigeria. Of course, in the second half of the show, I will have, joining me will be Miriam Gamali and Esther Ikwere. Of course, they will be dissecting some of the trending stories as they apply their brilliant minds to giving us some unique angles to the conversation. All right, moving ahead, let's take a look at what the headlines look like this morning on Trends. Sowore, Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer, Aloy Ejimakor, and 12 other protesters released from Kuje prison. President Tinubu meets newly appointed service chiefs at Asu Villa. Lawyers investigate Opay. Expose foreign ownership, regulatory lapses. Aliko Dangote urges Nigerians to sell dollars as Naira strengthens on refinery
is that
boost.
Without this refinery, you would have ended up buying dollars.
Portable advises Regina Daniel after latest post. Now let's go straight to our lead story on Trends, where human rights activist Omoyele Sowore, Aloy Ejimakor, the legal counsel to the detained IPOB leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and 12 other protesters have been released from the Kuje Correctional Centre after meeting their bail conditions. Now, the detainees were freed on Monday following the completion of necessary documentation and verification of their bail requirements. The release comes days after they were granted bail by an Abuja court in connection with a recent protest that drew national attention. Now, according to legal representatives, all conditions set by the court were duly fulfilled, paving the way for the release of the 14 individuals. The group had been held at Kuje prison since their arrest during a demonstration advocating for greater accountability and respect for human rights. Sowore, a former presidential candidate and publisher of Sahara Reporters, has consistently maintained that the arrests were politically motivated. In a brief statement after his release, he reiterated his commitment to defending civil liberties and promoting democratic values in Nigeria. Let's take a listen.
That's why they lose their mind. So I have been through about 7 presidents in my lifetime since probably more now, since 1992. Several police
called Egbetokun a useless IGP, and
no,
he had.
Is it not useless? Was not allowed.
Okay, so what's your word to in terms of the justice system, seeing what played out when you were beaten and manhandled in the court?
It's not the first time they will do that. You must have seen a plethora of police attacks on me. Since 1992, some of the police who attacked me had to fight for their retirement benefits a few weeks ago. So it's to us who I know doesn't know his left from his right. I can't be banding words with the IGP, who I know is no longer in the police force. And you cannot be IGP if you are not in the police force. And they understand it. That's why they lose their mind. So I have been through about 7 presidents in my lifetime since probably more now, since 1992. Several police IGPs, and some of them I've had to help in the course of. Some of them I had to assist where they were even still serving. Yes. So these are not issues that bothers me a lot. Anybody who is doing what we do knows that your second vacation.
Similarly, Aloy Ejimakor expressed appreciation to those who stood by them throughout their detention. He called for the strengthening of Nigeria's judicial system to ensure that justice is neither delayed nor denied. The release has sparked widespread reaction across social media, with activists and supporters describing it as a victory for democracy and the rule of law. Now, moving ahead to our next story, where President Bola Ahmed Tinubu held a crucial meeting with Nigeria's newly appointed service chiefs at the Villa in Abuja. The meeting brought together the Chief of Defense Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Olatubosun Oluyede, Chief of Army Staff, Major General Wahid Shaibu, Chief of Naval Staff, Rear Admiral Idi Abbas, Chief of Air Staff, Air Vice Marshal Sunday Aneke, and of course, Chief of Defense Intelligence, Major General Emmanuel Udeadeye. Now, during the closed-door session, President Tinubu reportedly emphasized his administration's commitment to national security, urging the new military heads to work collaboratively to combat insurgency, banditry, and other threats undermining peace across the country. The president's engagement with the service chiefs comes shortly after their nomination and confirmation, signaling the start of a new era in Nigeria's defense leadership. The new commanders are expected to align with Tinubu's renewed security strategy focus on intelligence-driven operations, joint tax efficiency, and improved interagency cooperation. The meeting at the Aso Rock underscores the administration's proactive approach to tackling Nigeria's evolving security challenges and ending stability nationwide. And the National Assembly has raised an alarm over what it described as disturbing gaps in the regulation and monitoring of fintech companies, signaling out Opay for operating largely from China. Honorable Olufemi Basimile, chairman of the ad hoc committee investigating fintech operations in Nigeria, made the revelation during a television interview while expressing deep concern over ownership opacity, poor KYC compliance, and weak oversight of digital finance operators. Now, according to Bamisile, the ongoing investigation revealed troubling irregularities in how some fintech firms operate, noting that emails sent to several companies, including Opay, MoneyPoint, and Kuda, bounced back, indicating the regulatory agencies may not even know the physical locations of these operators. The committee's preliminary findings suggest a widening disconnect between regulators like the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, and lawmakers, with crucial information about company ownership and compliance unavailable to the National Assembly. Industry watchers say this development raises national concerns and security questions, particularly around data protection, fund movement, and control of user information, despite multiple CBN directives to strengthen Know Your Customer, KYC, and anti-money laundering measures. Now, enforcement remains uneven and fragmented, creating loopholes for potential abuse. Lawmakers now fear that foreign-controlled fintechs like Opay may be exploiting these weaknesses to operate with minimal accountability. The committee's findings have sparked nationwide debate on the true identity and accountability of foreign-backed fintechs, especially as Opay continues to dominate the digital payment space with millions of Nigerian users. At this point, we'll take a quick breather. Don't forget, we need your reactions. Follow at LJE Nigeria on all social media platforms, and let's get your take. Are you worried where your money is on either the Opay or MoneyPoint platform? We'll be back shortly.
Nigeria is at a turning point. Young people are rising, demanding change. If you believe in justice, strong leadership, and real reform, then it's time to take a stand.
At LJE Nigeria, we're not just observers, we're builders. We're tackling leadership deficits, advocating for justice reforms, and driving economic advancements for all.
As a volunteer,
You won't just watch, you will be a part of it. You will gain access to powerful seminars, conferences, and mentorships from professionals who believe in your potential.
No matter who you are, whether you're a student, an entrepreneur, a professional, or someone who cares, there's a place for you here.
Network with passionate change makers, build skills, and step into leadership.
Join LJE Nigeria today. Let's lead with truth. Let's build with courage. Let's rise for Nigeria. Become an LJE volunteer today and be the change Nigeria needs. Follow all our social media handles for more details.
Thanks for staying with us. It still trends with LJE. And the two lovely ladies I had earlier introduced as my panelists are here at this point. Welcome, Esther and Miriam.
Thank you, Mr. John.
Now, back to our Opay story. And of course, we have given you the side of the National Assembly, but in somewhat something that could be related to as maybe a humorous side to the story. A self-acclaimed prophet has sparked widespread reactions on social media after making a startling prophecy about Nigerian fintech giant Opay. To get the depth of the matter, let's watch the video.
It's about close. One day they go say they get what happened for Opay. Everybody lost all money for bank. No Opay, they call them Opay. If you are here or anywhere they watch me about the wallet now, anywhere they watch me right now, just into best case. I'm talking Opay. I never talk what will not happen. Yes, sir. It come today, come tomorrow. Opay is about close. And Opay is a ritual. I know say some people after they post and they some go insult me. And okay, after insult me, they go see result. Yes, sir. Now go stop, go see result. I'm stuck with Opay. Opay is about close. I see serious case for Opay, and the Opay later close. Nobody, many people lost money, many crash. And when you go see the action from December to January, you go see the action. But for next year, you go say this man in talk. Just calculate this right about. You go start from this December to January. You go hear green small. But the next year, one day they go say they get what happened for Opay. Remember they go there, make it be a papa name, make it be a mama name, make it get that, make it be that the end of the day now. Everybody lost all money for bank. Now if you go bank, no go say anything. They say money, they don't know. If you ask this one, has one, that's how everything did. I'm talking Opay bank. Better be careful. God bless you.
Interesting development there. Ladies, let me ask. Coincidence or will I say fate, sheer luck that this prophecy is coming at the same time the National Assembly has raised an alarm about fintechs, fingering Opay, MoneyPoint, and Kuda. And here is this prophecy from this prophet that Nigerians will just wake up one day and wow, their money is gone. So Esther, let me hear from you. How do you react to this?
Honestly, well, I'll not say it's a coincidence. What if this person actually watched, like saw the news about the fintech company,
the conversations on the floor of the National Assembly?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
And then he gave a prophecy. This is actually, I don't agree with what he's doing, because what he has projected out there now, people will get scared and then they go and start
pulling their money
from Opay, closing their account, and it can spoil the business entirely for Opay. So if I'm Opay, I would actually do
a video and quickly do a rejoiner to this.
This can like spoil their business, entirely.
Miriam, you have an Opay account.
I do have an Opay account. Actually.
So how do you feel, on one hand, hearing what the committee on fintech in the National Assembly has to say about the operations of the likes of Opay, MoneyPoint, Kuda, and then hearing the prophecy of the prophet?
You know, there was one time we said, it's on the news actually, that Opay is being licensed by the CBN, right? So now, which regulatory organization checks out this Opay, this bank in quotes, to know that okay, they are good to work in Nigeria? Because I know it is a body that checked Opay and said, okay, Opay is good and they can function in Nigeria.
Operate in the Nigerian.
So now, why are they now coming out
fintech
now
space
to now say that it is not good, that they have issues? This is just to show you how our government or our leaders or the authorities in Nigeria goes around. Because today you're telling us another thing, tomorrow you're saying another thing. Now the pastor, the prophets coming out to say, this is Nigeria, anything can actually happen. I don't know if you understand. And Nigerians are very, very gullible. You see that he has put this out now. You see that people will now be scared. They will go and start withdrawing their money. For me, Opay has been helping a whole lot, because you go to make transactions, to buy something, you want to use your card, and the normal banks we have in Nigeria is not working.
Yeah,
but Opay
they have banking charge, but Opay just it's
immediately,
instant.
without any issue, Opay would do that for you. No, now you're coming out to say that Opay is this one, Opay is that one. Whatever works. I know Opay has been serving me and is still serving me very well.
So invariably, what I deduct from both your conversations is that somebody or some persons or the agencies saddled with the response. Of course, Honorable Bamisile did highlight that the CBN is the apex body amongst those regulatory bodies that is supposed to do what we call background checks. Now, for the committee, they sent mails to these three-fingered fintech companies. The mails bounced back. So it is only natural for anybody to be afraid that how is it that the email is bouncing back? Of course, we cannot also rule out human error in the sense that, are we sure they sent to the correct email address?
Exactly.
That's another thing that can be argued. But as I said, from your conversation, what I have detected is that it is not just about fingering Opay, Kuda, and MoneyPoint, but who are the agencies and who in those agencies should be held responsible for not securing the financial future of Nigerians.
Nigeria, yeah.
Well, moving ahead, Africa's richest man, Aliko Dangote,
really
has advised Nigerians to sell their US dollars, predicting that the Naira will appreciate significantly within the next 1 to 2 months.
Not at
Let's hear from Africa's richest man, Aliko Dangote.
It's 1,455 today. So it is a major gain. You wouldn't have seen the dollar rate, dropping, and also seen foreign reserves going up. And I can assure you, within the next 1 or 2 months, with the new policy of the government supporting the downstream, you see the dollar rate will actually improve a lot. I mean, if I have dollars today, I'd rather sell than to wait till next 1 month or so. You see it. One of the things that people didn't really notice or realize is that without this refinery, you would have ended up buying.
Well, Dangote attributed his optimism to the of his 650,000 barrel per day refinery, which he said is cutting fuel import costs and strengthening Nigeria's foreign reserve. The country's reserves have reportedly climbed to about $35 billion as of late October 2025, with the Naira stabilizing around 1,459 to 59 Naira to the dollar. So he also highlighted the federal government's commitment to supporting refinery expansion to 1.4 million barrels per day under President Bola Tinubu's administration, a move aimed at boosting energy security, reducing forex pressure, and enhancing long-term economic stability. So, ladies, I know they say it is women that like alerts and their money. So, how do you feel with Africa's richest man telling dollar ladies like yourselves to sell your dollars? Miriam, let me get your reaction.
Now, who get dollar, go sell dollar. That's just all I have to say.
Esther, your reaction.
Well, it's possible you sell the dollar, and of course the Naira is good, but it's still possible you don't sell it. So whichever way, if you want to sell, you sell. If you don't want to sell, you keep it.
To be honest, I know that over the years, I always hear people say one way of holding down money is to change it into dollars, because it won't be so easy to spend. So for those who have been holding down plenty of dollars, I don't know if you agree with Africa's richest man, Aliko Dangote. Anyway, to our final story on today's edition of Trends, actress Regina Daniels shared a new photo of her with the caption, "Even when table turn, we go steal the chop for the table." Her post quickly caught attention, and of course, not just anybody's attention, but Portable's attention. The controversial music genre also decided to go on Instagram and gave his own interpretation of what he understood of Regina Daniels' post. Let's hear from Portable.
I go by name, Portable, when I love me. Nobody can be like me. Nobody do like me. They say my look alike, they collect my show. If you collect my money, if you wear this kind of good, if you dey like me, if you talk like me, normally, shaking pan, shaking loon. You say, I'm going to go just I'm going to go look fancy, and I'm going to justice for him. Oh, yeah, I look for him. Tebatiri, anybody, any look alike, will look like me, will they perform my music, and for go here, and not perform. And fancy me, and just you, and not perform, no be until you not attack me. We are getting no pa. When I see person going to perform like me, if they do like me, if perform my first song go top stage, he collect show like say na Portable. We are getting look pa, can no pa, can post your que. She meaning na me go beat am. Can say justice for him, can competition. Hey Joe, wow. If you are coming for show, I go. They don't be collect my own show. Now their own show, there they go. She show 250,000 then buy. Hey Siri. Me why they collect 10 million plus. Hey Siri, 10 million plus. What I go here with it? Hey Siri, I shop for your house, I drink for your house, I sleep your hotel. You go pay money, you snap picture, you roll with me, you mingle. You look at me where you look alike. Me give me just my go with me. You need to look alike. No worry. Eh, no tag me, oh. No, they tag me. They tag me. My God, here, wow.
Well, ladies, before we call it a quit on this edition of Trends, I'm to wonder, when you have an artist of this nature, what kind of influence is he having on the younger ones? I mean, he has a very eccentric outlook in terms of aesthetics, but even the kind of comments he tends to portray on social media, one wonders, Esther, would you allow your younger ones to follow a Portable online?
Actually, he's entertaining, but no, his personality, his nature, the kind of things he says, like, no. I would not allow my younger ones or anyone. I will not advise you to like follow him, but it's entertaining when it comes to the entertainment aspect of him, his music and all. But
do I have to dye my hair white or something, wear loud colors for me to be entertaining, Miriam?
No, you don't have to, actually, but that is his
persona.
His person, you get. But the thing is, the way he is in front of a camera, is he how he is in real life? Or he's just doing all these things for camera?
I once heard, I think it was Beyonce, that says that when she's on stage, she's a completely different person. She has a persona called... she has a name, another name, when Shasha Fierce, when she's on stage. But when she's off stage, she's Beyonce Rollins.
Exactly.
Nice. Well, we could talk about this for hours, but that's all the time we have for this edition of Trends with LJE. My sincere thanks to Miriam Gamaliel and, of course, Esther Ekwere for your brilliant contributions to the show today. Don't forget, like and share at LJE Nigeria on all social media platforms to join the conversation and get updates on our next show. I am Nkamian John. Bye for now.